Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Brittany with Horoscope.com. Here are 3 things you need to know in order to make today, Friday, December 28th, 2018, a success. Now the first thing I want to talk about is going to be right here where the moon is. Now for the beginning of the day, the moon here is going to be in the sign of Virgo. When the moon's in Virgo, it brings our attention to working, getting things done, trying our best to organize our lives. Also brings our attention to our health, trying to improve our health, and also strategizing about our lives and how we can do the things that we need. Now, what's going on this morning after we wake up, this moon in Virgo is going to make a sextile over here to the North Node in Cancer. And this to me is very positive. I do like sextiles. I also like the North Node. So what I think this can bring are some positive feelings. We're feeling like we're organizing our life more, getting more things in control, in order, in some way. And I think in turn that is helping us to feel comfortable emotionally, to feel more safe, more grounded, more secure, maybe even to work better as well with our home or with our family too. So I think this is very positive. What happens after that, though, as we start to move towards lunchtime, could be a little bit challenging. That's because around lunchtime, as this moon moves further through Virgo, it is then going to oppose both Mars and Chiron, which are currently in a conjunction with each other. What that can then bring are some very, very strong feelings that could come on pretty fast, maybe pretty aggressively, and maybe not so pleasant around lunchtime with this opposition. I think we are trying to organize our life, get better routines, better strategies in place to do what we need to feel comfortable to move forward. But maybe there's still something with Mars and Chiron in Pisces inside us. Maybe there are still some things from the past that we're not okay with, that still need to be worked out, figured out, dealt with, understood, put to bed in some way. And I think that can be hard. Sure, maybe life outwardly is starting to look better, but maybe life inwardly is a little bit messy. That could be a little bit hard for us to handle, and maybe needing to, around lunchtime, take some time out if you're feeling not right inside, to pay attention to those things, to get right with yourself, to put your emotions in the right perspective so that they do not get the best of you, and so that you do not act out in weird ways as a result of these things that it is that you are feeling. All right, so that's what's going to happen there. Really needing to pay attention to what's going on inside and take a break from your work in order to move forward. The next and last thing that's going to happen today after this, now as we're moving towards dinner time, is that this moon then is going to leave this hard spot in Virgo, thank goodness, and enter the sign of Libra. When the moon's in Libra, it comes a lot more to balancing our emotions, which we may need after this opposition to Mars and Chiron. Also comes a lot more too to working with relationships and working with other people to give us some of the support that we need to accomplish some of the things that we have been trying to work on while the moon was in Virgo. And so that's kind of what we end the day on, trying our best to find balance and to work with other people to do the things that we need. All right, so that's the first thing there. I always like to start with the moon, just since the moon changes the most from day to day and defines most what happens each day and each hour. The first thing I want to mention here, get your life in order, organize things, be practical, get the things done that you need done, but don't neglect your emotions in the process, because they could come on hot, heavy, and strong in a not so pleasant way around lunchtime, and needing to make sure that you calm those things going on inside you, deal with them so that you can continue moving forward in the way that you need. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is going to be right here with Mercury in Sagittarius in a square with Neptune, and I guess it's moving farther away from Mars. What this could bring here, Mercury rules the way we think, the way we communicate, confusing conversations, confusing thoughts. I think our thoughts, our mind could be all over the place. It's one of those things where we're thinking about 100 things at once, and we're thinking about everything and nothing, like all at once. I think that's what can happen here, especially with Mercury being in a sign it doesn't like, touching a planet it doesn't like. It's not in a good spot here. So I think conversations are confusing. Not only is it hard for us to pinpoint what exactly is going on, what exactly it is that we're feeling, but it may also be hard for us to communicate to other people what it is that we're feeling, what it is that's going on inside us here. And I think really the best way to work with this alignment is to not try to communicate in finite terms, is to not try to be understood for what it is that you're trying to say. Realize that there are some things in life that cannot be understood, that cannot be reasoned away, that cannot be rationalized. Accept that you feel the way that you feel. Realize there are bigger forces at play, and be at peace with that as you move forward, okay? Especially with this Mars Chiron conjunction coming into focus at the moon is touching today. Lots of emotional stuff weighing on us deeply, spiritually, especially things we can't touch, see, or feel that are very hard to communicate to others. And I think if other people don't understand what you're feeling, if you don't even understand what you're feeling, like, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you if that's the case. I think just needing to love yourself through this process, to be patient and to accept, like, what is it, the unanswered questions for what they are, to love the questions in your life that are unanswered, so that you can move forward without feeling so heavy and so confused about what's going on in your life. Now, the third and last thing I want to talk about here is going to be where the sun is coming closer and closer into a conjunction with Saturn, which it will do around Capricorn season while Saturn is in this sign for the next year or two. What this can bring, I think, a little bit of a seriousness, could bring a heaviness as well to what's going on in your life with the Saturn influence. But I think what this is really saying, the sun conjunct Saturn, is time to think more serious about your life. It's time to put some of your feelings behind you. I know that's hard because I just spent most of this video talking about your emotions, how your emotions are going to come on heavy, your emotions are going to come on strong. It's going to be hard to communicate about your feelings today, to understand your feelings, to talk to other people, to get it right. And I think the sun here in a conjunction with Saturn is saying, you know what? Feelings are going to be hard, but sometimes you have to learn either how to put your feelings behind you or how to put your feelings in the right perspective, not because you want to feel the way that you feel, not because you want to do things, but because you need to. The sun in a conjunction with Saturn, I think, is going to help you to say, you know what? There are some things about my life I can't control. I don't know, that I don't feel comfortable with, but I have to do X, Y, Z. I have responsibilities I need to get done. I have things in life that I need to do that are way more important than this circumstance, than this feeling, and I need to move forward on that. And I do think the message here of the sun conjunct Saturn, even though you are feeling a lot, even though you need to pay attention to your feelings here and be okay if things aren't perfect, there's also comes a point too where you need to put your emotions behind you and just do the work that needs to be done. And I think if you can do the work that needs to be done, if your feelings are hard to handle, and take on some of the responsibilities that you need and think more long term instead of short term about what you're feeling in this moment, it's definitely going to help you so that you don't get lost in all the feelings that could come up today, and kind of drown in some of this confusion about what may be going on inside you. So that is your daily planetary forecast for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.